Oh, hey there. Welcome to the Nostalgia CM, where looking back at the past isn't just good, it's great. I'm your host, Nostalgic Travis, and today I would like to talk about the original Nintendo Entertainment System, the old NES. Now, if you'll remember from a previous video, I was an Atari kid. I thought that I would have my Atari forever, and it was never going to upgrade. I'd even get into arguments with my friends about why I was an originalist, and the Atari was just the best system ever, and the Nintendo was just new age garbage. Anyways, I changed my mind. I got a Nintendo, I think, when I was in the 5th grade, and so I guess I stopped being an originalist and started being more progressive and new. Anyways, so there's a lot of topics on the Nintendo that we could talk about. There's lots of different games. There's the shooters, there's side-scrolling, there's RPGs, there's adventure, there's classic arcade. But for today's topic, I would like to talk about the side-scrolling games. So I define side-scrolling as games that you just went one way. So you progressed and you weren't able to go back. And full disclosure, the games that I talk about are just games that I used to play, that I enjoyed playing. They are in no means a top 5, top 10. These are just games that I like playing. So first off, one game that I really like playing was Little Nemo, the Dream Master. Now this game was based, I don't know how loosely or not because I didn't read the comic strip, but it was based on a comic strip called Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland, I believe. And the premise of the game is you are Little Nemo and you fall asleep and you wake up in this fantastical dream-like area and you fight dream monsters and you try to get to the end. I don't really know if I passed this game. I believe it had a really hard second to last level that, again, I don't know if I passed it or not. The second game on my list is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Now, this game is even more loosely based on the book, and I don't really think it had too much in common with the book, except for the name, and one level you did ride on a raft. Now, this game, you ran around as Tom Sawyer and you throw rocks at enemies. I found this game to be very, very difficult because you only got 2 hits and then you died. And I think there might have been power-ups that you could get some of your hearts back, but for the most part, 2 hearts, you're dead. And like with many Nintendo games, there were no save points. And so once you died, you went all the way back to the beginning. The third game on my list is Super Mario Brothers 3. So Super Mario Brothers, of course, is a legendary NES franchise. I did enjoy Super Mario Brothers 2, where you could play as different characters, but Super Mario Brothers 3 actually took it to a next level. And okay, honestly, there were some questionable choices with power-ups and the concept of a man being able to punch out a brick with his bare hand. That being said, I totally accepted the fact that if you got a feather, you would turn into a raccoon person and you could float. The next game on my list was Monster Party. Monster Party was a game where you traveled on different levels fighting mythical monsters. I believe there was a Medusa. There were monsters like just regular monsters, like zombies. And it was just an overall fun game because it was fun to see all the different mythical monsters being played out on a video game system. The last game, and again, this is not a favorites list. This is not a best of list. These are just games that I played that I liked. So the last game on this list is Mega Man 3. I was probably late to the Mega Man series. I never played Mega Man's 1 or 2, but I got Mega Man 3, and I really like the concept of when you pass the level, you got that main boss's powers. Also, Mega Man 3 had a pretty good cheat code where if you had the second controller plugged in and you pushed the right directional pad, you would not die if you fell down a pit. And in fact, if you fell down a pit, you just jump out of said pit. And I remember playing this game with my one controller and the second controller plugged in, and I'd push down on that right direction with my foot, and I was able to pass the game. Now, I don't know if you'd consider it necessarily passing if you use the cheat code, but I did get to the end and I saw the credits. So there you have my list of 5 games, side-scrolling games that I enjoyed playing for the original NES. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you like the channel, if you have games that you like playing that I didn't talk about. Like I said, the Nintendo Entertainment System, it has so many topics, so many different games. But thank you for listening to me talk about my 5, and we'll see you next time. So long.